Hey guys, what's up and welcome to today's show. Very interesting transfer news and rumours for you guys today. Briefly, I want to touch on Arsenal. Apparently, Lavia still being linked with Arsenal, and apparently a deal may be edging ever closer. Now, I don't know how much validity there is in this. He would be the more viable option in terms of a midfield player. A lot cheaper than Churanemi, and he's a very good player. He'll be a very good addition to the Arsenal team. Apparently, this deal is advancing. I'm going to watch along to see how this deal progresses. I'll keep my ears and my eyes to this, and I'll bring you guys the news as soon as I get it. So, the main focus of today, I want to focus on Manchester United, and I want to focus on Harry Kane and Spurs. Manchester United, they seem to be moving and grooving now in the transfer window. The Onana deal is getting closer and closer, and also the signing of the midfielder Amrabat from Fiorentina. Fantastic defensive midfielder. Also a box-to-box midfielder in UEFA Conference Final. He was fantastic for Fiorentina, even though they ended up losing to West Ham. But I believed, and most people believe, that he was probably the best player on the pitch. Amrabat would be a fantastic addition to Manchester United. He would definitely take their midfield to another level. And it would also be interesting to see the dynamics of that midfield, who plays. Because Amrabat, he's coming to play. He's young. He's aggressive, he's intense, he has fantastic technique and composure on the ball. And, you know, with the addition of Declan Rice, joining Casemiro, joining Eriksen, joining Bruno Fernandes, and also if you're adding Amrabat to that equation, that Manchester United team just gone up a couple of more levels. So I think that the Amrabat deal to Manchester United will happen. He won't cost an extreme amount of money either, compared to other midfield targets in Europe. You know, he'll be considerably cheap, and I think this is a very smart signing by Erik ten Hag and Manchester United. He's a fantastic player. I'm quite surprised that more teams haven't come in for him, but I think this move will happen. Onana to Manchester United, this will definitely happen. It's just a case of, you know, Manchester United giving Inter Milan the money that they value Onana to be. So, you know, they've got rid of David De Gea. I think Fred may be on the way out as well of Manchester United, and getting in these additions, Onana and Amrabat, fantastic for Manchester United. Thumbs up from my viewpoint. I think the next Premier League season is going to be very competitive. It's good to see, you know, the big team strengthening and making smart signings also. Staying on Manchester United, Harry Maguire. This guy needs to leave the football club. Now, he's on big wages at Manchester United. He's on big money. He probably ain't going to get those wages elsewhere. He ain't going to play for Erik ten Hag. Erik ten Hag has made it clear they would rather play Luke Shaw at centre-half than Maguire. He's probably going to be stripped of the club captaincy. And most people, I think most Man United fans would probably think that probably Casemiro would be probably the best captain. You know, he's a natural leader. He's a fantastic player. And he took Manchester United to another level by himself. You know, with these other additions, it'll be interesting to see how high and what Manchester United can achieve next season. Harry Maguire needs to leave. They need to be rid of his wages. I think he's on about 300 grand a week, 250, 300 grand a week. They need to be rid of his wages. He's a shit defender. Listen, I'm not a fan of Harry Maguire. I'm not a fan of his antics. He's shit. He's slow. He's stupid. I remember last season, he had a shocker for Manchester United. And, you know, he played well against some shit, I don't know, national team. I don't know who it was. And then he done this stupid celebration like this, you know, with his ears like that, cup in his ears, you know, and then he goes back to Manchester United and he carries on playing shit. He had that awful performance against, I think it was Sevilla. Yeah, he had that awful performance against Sevilla in the was it the conference? No, in the Europa League. He had an awful performance against Sevilla in the Europa League where he played shocking. I mean, the guy's just shit. And he hasn't got he's got no personality. He does these irritating, arrogant things like that stupid celebration against a shit national team when the bread and butter is club football. And for Manchester United, he's been crap. And I find it very, very annoying how the English media and pundits always highlight and bully Paul Pogba, a player who won 2 trophies with Manchester United and was imperative. He was imperative in winning those trophies with Mourinho. The Europa League and the Carabao Cup. He won 2 trophies with Manchester United, big trophies. Harry Maguire won the Carabao Cup and he did fuck all in it. Shit. So I find it, amusing, annoying how they stick up for Harry Maguire. They don't highlight the truth. And that is, he's one of the most embarrassing, and he probably, in my opinion, he is the worst transfer in Premier League history. But they always highlight Paul Pogba as a flop, as, a bad apple, as a flop transfer. No, Maguire is levels above Paul Pogba in terms of being a flop, in terms of being a bad apple. Paul Pogba contributed more to Manchester United history, far more than Harry Maguire, in a positive way. Some of his goals, some of his performances in big games. Paul Pogba has been a much better servant to Manchester United than Harry Maguire. But you will never hear the English pundits and media say it, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to bring you the truth. Maguire's shit. He's not good enough for the Premier League. Maybe a lower team, but his level's probably Championship. But even that league may be too quick for him because he's too slow and he cannot turn and he cannot play in any system that plays a high line, modern progressive football. He's good for England, parking the bus, 3 centre-halves, defensive football, 2 defensive midfielders in front of 3 centre-backs with lots of protection, with a low block. He's good for England with Southgate's prehistoric tactics, shit manager, but he's not good for a progressive team and a progressive manager like Manchester United. He must leave. And he must go to somewhere like the Italian league. Quality league, but slower football. More defensive football, where his shitness may not be exposed as much as it would be, as it has been in the Premier League. But that really gets on my nerves. How the pundits and the sports media always seem to pick on and bully Paul Pogba. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the name on the passport or other factors why they do it. But when it comes to Maguire, who has the same passport as them, they don't do it. And I think it is something to do with that. And I'm going to just say it blatantly. It pisses me off. Pogba's been a fantastic player for Manchester United. He may not have hit the heights that he should have, but he contributed to their success more than Harry Maguire has. Harry Maguire has contributed more negatively and been more of a detriment to Manchester United than Paul Pogba, than any other player post Alex Ferguson era. And that is facts. So please, Maguire, for Manchester United fans, leave the football club. Pursue your career at a level that suits you. Maybe go to Saudi, but they don't even want you. They've not even come in for you. So it shows you how shit that you actually are. But let's move on to Spurs and Harry Kane. Now, this transfer saga is stepping up pace. It's stepping up pace. It seems like PSG may be coming in for Harry Kane. Now, this is what I want. I want a bidding war for Harry Kane. Now, for the good of football, Harry Kane must leave Spurs. Now, I've spoke to a lot of Spurs fans, friends, acquaintances of mine, and they seem to be, what's the word I'm looking for, delusional in their assessment that Harry Kane won't leave Spurs. Might. The guy wants to leave. Bayern Munich would not be pushing so hard if there was not a reason for them to push. And that's that Harry Kane wants to join Bayern Munich. I don't know what they said to him. I don't know how they turned him, but he wants to join Bayern Munich. And like I've said before, it works out good for him. If he signs a 3-year contract, he goes and wins every trophy in the first year domestically. He probably wins the Champions Leagues within 2 years of being there. Because I believe if Harry Kane goes to Bayern Munich, to me, that would make them favourites to win the Champions League. That's how highly I rate Kane. I didn't rate him that highly previously, but last season, scoring 30 goals in that shit Spurs team, it showed me the level he is. Top quality. And then after 2 seasons, he can go back to the Premier League. Only 32 years old. Lots of miles left in the tank. And he could easily beat Shearer's record within 3 seasons. 2 seasons if it's slow. 3 seasons if it's slow. 2 seasons if it's quick. You know, he could have a big 30-goal season and have a lesser 18, 20-goal season. And he could go on for another season and take it further. He can do it. Kane can do it. The only one I see breaking that record, apart from Harry Kane, is our Haaland. And that depends how long Haaland wants to stay in the Premier League. We don't know how his career is mapped out. But Harry Kane needs to leave Spurs for the good of football and for the good of his career. No Spurs fan should begrudge him. There should be no delusion. Oh, he needs to stay an extra year. Oh, he should go for free. No. Harry Kane should be gone and they should cash in on him 80, 90, 100 million, 80 million minimum with add-ons. And they'll probably get those add-ons if they win the Bundesliga and Champions League. Daniel Levy should cash in on Harry Kane. The Spurs fans should pull out a red carpet and say thank you for your service. Even though he was part of your failures, he did bottle it in the big games. He shouldn't have played in certain games. Champions League final 2019 in Madrid. He shouldn't have been there. He was injured. And he didn't contribute in the finals and semi-finals and all the big games that Spurs have been involved in. But do you know what I think that is? I think that the Spursiness got in him. And if he's around proper players, Leroy Sané, Müller, Goretzka, Kimmich, if he's around proper ballers, proper winners that will get inside him, the Spursiness will leave him and he will be a winner. And that will take him to that winning mentality. And that's it. That's it. Harry Kane needs to go. And I want to see him at another club. I want to see him at a big club. I would rate him for his ambition and his endeavour to want to try something new. But if he doesn't leave, that would be shocking. Well, if he doesn't sign a new contract and he leaves next summer, that's just shocking in terms of business for Spurs and Daniel Levy. But if he signs a new contract, for me, he's the stupidest player of all time. And that's it. But Harry Kane needs to leave. And I want to see him leave. Yeah, I want to see him leave, and I want to see him win trophies that his talent, that his ability deserves. Because those trophies ain't coming at Spurs. And it don't matter how delusional people are, the reality is, it ain't going to happen. And Ange Postecoglou, your 5th choice to replace Antonio Conte, not your first, not your second, not your third, not your fourth, but your 5th choice to replace Antonio Conte, a guy that I believe is a shit manager. I don't care what he done at Celtic or what he done previously. Mate, Spurs were better off getting Brendan Rodgers. Proven Premier League manager. Done better than him at Celtic. And he's a proven Premier League manager. Ange Postecoglou is going to have a massive culture shock in this league, mate. Because it ain't a farmers... It is a bit of a farmers league, but it's a competitive league. Not like that farmers league up north. So let's get it straight. Ange Postecoglou, Spurs' 5th choice manager, is going to fail. And he ain't going to be enough to convince Harry Kane to leave. Harry Kane, go to our top manager, Thomas Tuchel, a top club, Bayern Munich. If it ain't Real Madrid, if it ain't Barcelona, then it's Bayern Munich, mate. You don't say no to these clubs. And go and fulfill your potential. And then come back to the Premier League with Spurs if needed and beat Shearer's record. And that's all she wrote on today's video. So I'm going to be back tomorrow for another one. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Please smash the like, share a comment. I want to hear your guys' opinion. Share the channel, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys for another one tomorrow. Peace.